You're watching the news on the hour brought to you from the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN. I am Nzubechi Frank. You are welcome. As the 2019 general election draw near, with all political parties having concluded their primaries, Social Democratic Party is not left out with the conduction of its primaries. Although the results of the primaries do not accord well with the campaign organization of Professor Jerry Ghana, as he was beaten by the former governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke, who emerged the winner of the primaries. In a world press conference organized by Professor Jerry Ghana campaign organization, the G19 in Abuja, with the team on matters of constitutional democracy, called for justice, fairness, equity, and the rule of law. The campaign DG Ike called on the party to reconsider its stand on the outcome of the primaries, as the party ought to have zoned its presidency to the north, amongst other issues.
On the principles of inclusiveness, justice, equity, and fairness to all. 2, the party therefore shall observe the following. A, the office of the president and national chairman of the party shall rotate between the south and north and amongst the 6 geopolitical zones. It continues like that for governors at the state level and local government chairmen. Accordingly, since the national chairman of the party, Chief Olufalaye, GCON, CFR, is from the south, it follows logically that in accordance with the tenets of our party, the letter and spirit of our constitution, the contest for the presidential candidacy of the party ought to have been restricted to aspirants from the north. So our advice, which was ignored, was not merely wishful thinking, but a weighty constitutional matter. Indeed, the national chairman of our party, Chief Olufalaye, had earlier stated in a press interview published in the Punch newspaper of May 13, 2018, titled, SDP will pick its presidential candidate from the north. In answering a question from a Punch reporter, and I quote, "Is the SDP picking its presidential candidate from the northern part of the country like some other parties?" Chief Falaye had responded in the affirmative, and I quote, "Yes, we are picking our candidate from the north. It may be from the northeast, northwest, or north central. On the strength of the above constitutional provision of the party and the very specific assurances of our national chairman, the G19 team was influenced and encouraged to field a presidential candidate in the person of Professor Jerry Ghana, CON, PhD, DD. It is important to state that the national chairman's conclusive statement above on the issue of zoning partly compelled some other distinguished aspirants from the south from contesting in this primary. Of course, one of them is Professor Femi Olufimilade. I remember the robust engagement that he had on the platform when this interview was posted. And at the end of the day, I believe that they encouraged him to drop his ambition. Arising from the above, we expected the party to do the right thing by disqualifying the affected southern aspirants from contesting at the presidential primary. And this is not new. In 1999, when the PDP zoned its presidential candidacy to the south, I remember that Alhaji Abubakar Rimi insisted that he would contest. And at the end of the day, the party did the needful because they felt that was the right thing to do. We find it therefore most appropriate to stress that the Supreme Court, in a plethora of cases, has ruled and asserted the fact that political parties, and I emphasize, must obey their own constitutions and guidelines. And where necessary, as provided by law, the courts will intervene and wield the big stick to prevent arbitrariness.
Ahead of 2019 general election, the Bishop of the Anglican Diocese of the Trinity in USA and Canada, the Right Reverend Amos Fagbamiye, has taken out time to lay emphasis on areas Nigerians, especially Christians, should look out for while voting come 2019. He made this known during an interview with the ACNN news crew in Abuja, where he highlighted some major challenges facing Nigeria. According to him, these challenges facing Nigeria is colossal and requires a leader who is ready to stand in the gap like Nehemiah. And so Nigerians should look out for a candidate who first and foremost has the fear of God.
This country today lives by the mercy and the grace of God. The hospitals are not working, the roads are very dangerous, very hazards and so on, security, no light. If you know what this country loses by not having regular lights, what we lose, blackouts, your generators and so on, is colossal. And when the church is now commercialized, people they come to wear all kind of garments, they say they're just preaching prosperity. There's no fear of God. No fear of God. And I just pity the young ones that are coming up, that the future is very bleak. But I know that God will take control. So we need somebody who is serious. We need somebody who has the fear of God in his heart. We need somebody like Nehemiah. We need somebody like that man of the king of Nineveh, who will call of us to repentance, will call of us to discipline, and not just come out in sweet mouth and so on and so forth. We need somebody that will make us accountable. And I have my passion for Jerry Ghana, but I think Jerry Ghana can still help, because he's in the political arena. So he knows their nuts, he knows their goods and bads, he knows the oranges and the apples and the thorns, he knows them. So let him come out and let us know where he is, and people of his like.
He further called on Christians to make use of the mantle that has been given to them to pray for God to choose a leader for the country come 2019, and also advised them against vote buying and vote selling.
We Christians will have that power, the power of the gospel of Jesus, the power that we can call upon God and He can answer us. We can do it. And then we pray sincerely. Let us remove all these fake, if all these fake prophets can stay aside, and let spiritual leaders mobilize us, all followers, Christians, have a day of prayer. Pray, and we are sincere. We are not going to join them to take money and sell our votes. The God will show us that this one will do it. We will see what God will do in this country. A revolution, a spiritual revolution will take place, and shall all be well.
Meanwhile, the All Progressive Congress APC will not field candidates for all elective positions in Zamfara State in the 2019 general elections. This followed a declaration by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), where the commission explained that the APC failed to meet the October 7th deadline for conducting primaries to elect candidates for the elections. The letter, issued and signed by the acting secretary of the commission, Okechukwu Ndeche, was addressed to the APC national chairman, Adams Oshiomhole. Hence, with this development, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, which has already picked a former member of the House of Representatives, Bello Matawalle, as its governorship candidate for the 2019 elections, may take over the state. The West African Examination Council (WAEC) has decried the rate of examination malpractice among students, vowing to publish names of students involved in malpractice. In a statement by WAEC's head public affairs, Mr. Damian Ojijogu, the decision to publish offenders was part of the 66th Nigeria Examinations Committee (NEC) of WAEC's resolution held at Abuja, Lagos. It approved that the entire results of candidates involved in proven cases, which attracts cancellation of entire results, be cancelled, while subject results of those involved in proven cases, which attracts cancellation of subject results, be similarly cancelled. The Abuja Division of the Federal High Court has fixed October 23rd to hear a suit seeking to invoke an order of mandamus to compel Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) to investigate National Chairman of the All Progressive Congress (APC), Adams Oshiomhole, for allegedly diverting public funds to his personal use. Justice Anglican Chikere directed that relevant processes in the suit suit lodged before the court by Edo State-based cleric Bishop Osadolo Oche should be served on EFCC and Oshomole within the next 5 days. The court made the order after it heard an ex parte motion moved by counsel to the applicant, Dr. West Idahosa, urging it to declare that the anti-graft agency has a statutory duty to investigate different petitions that contained allegations of financial recklessness against the former governor of Edo State. The applicant told the court that he had on November 4, 2016, sent a petition to the EFCC detailing some corrupt practices he said the ex-governor was involved in, and maintained that EFCC's refusal to act on petitions containing weighty allegations against Oshomole ran contrary to Section 15, page 5 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which enjoined the state to abolish corrupt practices. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has set up a special team to grill the outgoing governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose. The governor will lose his immunity in a matter of few days, and this will give the EFCC the constitutional right to arrest, detain and prosecute him. Fayose had already been invited by the anti-graft agency and is expected to report at the head office in Abuja to meet with the Commission's Director of Operations, Omar Mohammed, after which he will be greeted by a team of operatives. Fayose, who is the chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) Governors Forum, is under investigation for allegedly receiving over 1.2 billion naira from a former National Security Advisor, Sambo Dasuki, through a former Minister of State for Defense, Senator Musiliu Obanikoro, who allegedly got the money during the build-up to the 2014 governorship election in Ekiti State. Meanwhile, Fayose's spokesman Idowu Adelusi told the newspapers that his principal was ready for the EFCC. Adelusi also noted that the governor had written a letter to the EFCC indicating his readiness to appear before the commission next week. We shall now go on a short commercial break. We'll be back. Please stay with us. You are welcome back, and thanks for staying tuned. For more on our top stories, please visit our website at acnntv.com or youtube.com/ACNNTV. To be up to date with our news and other programs, download the ACNN app for Android from Google Play Store. And for eyewitness reports, please send your video clips or pictures to news@acnntv.com or acnnigeria@gmail.com. The former military president, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, has charged the National Defense College to urgently initiate policy for the purpose of enhancing governance and security in Nigeria. He said this when a team of participants of the National Defense College visited his hilltop residence in Minna, Niger State. According to him, it was high time the military dug deeper to formulate more strategies to deal with insecurity challenges. Meanwhile, the team of the National Defense College, Commodore Solomon Agada, told Babangida that the study tour to Niger State was to have first-hand information aimed at addressing national challenges. As part of the vision of Sustainable Development Goals, which aims at reducing open defecation in countries, a Batch B Stream 1 2017 core member Udechukwu Izuchukwu has completed a 2-unit toilet facility as his personal community development project. Open defecation has been one of the worst cases in the world, with an estimated 46 million people involved in it. Our news correspondent Nwanne Ogechukwu has the report. And now to foreign news. More than 2,000 Anglicans from Southern Africa and around the world were in Durban, South Africa for Anglicans Ablaze, an international conference within the Anglican Church of Southern Africa. This event is a renewal platform meant to set Anglicans ablaze with God's love and power in order to build up the church and to serve God in the world. The Bishop of the Northwestern Episcopal area of the Anglican Diocese of Natal, Setsi Selone, said that the event is a continuation of the Anglican Renewal Ministry that began in the 1970s, adding that it's a diverse kind of ministry showing the Anglican life and its best from extreme Anglo-Catholic to extreme charismatic expression of worship. French lawmakers has adopted 2 bills to prevent the spread of false information during election campaigns following allegation of Russian meddling in the 2017 presidential vote. The fake news bills enable a candidate or political party to seek a court injunction preventing the publication of false information during the 3 months leading up to a national election. Macron has had Russian media in his sights since his 2017 campaign, when a state-backed Russian site ran allegations that he was gay and had a secret bank account in the Bahamas. The bill also requires that Facebook, Twitter and other social media platforms reveal the names of companies behind sponsored contents and establishes a press ethnic council headed by the former head of AFP news agency Emmanuel Hook. The Global Anglican Mission Agency Mothers Union has elected Sharon Harper as its new worldwide president, being the first person from outside the British Isles to hold the position. Ms. Harper, from Guyana, part of the Anglican Church in the province of the West Indies, will represent and lead the 142-year-old movement's 4 million members in 84 countries from January next year, when she takes over from Lauren Temba, who steps down in December. Harper's election was announced by Mothers Union Chief Executive Bev Chelin during our Facebook Live section.
This is an historic moment because it's the first time that the elections are being undertaken under the new constitution, which was approved in April of 2018. And I'm delighted to say that a record number of votes have been registered. I would like to take this opportunity to thank deeply all those who chose to listen to the calling for their names to be put forward for this process. So, worldwide president, I am pleased to announce that Sharon Harper, currently worldwide trustee and from Guyana, has been elected by a clear majority. This is the first time that a member from outside the British Isles has been elected to this role.
So it's on that note that we draw the curtain on this edition of the News on the Hour. I want to thank you for watching. I am Zubechi Frank.